folks? Welcome back to another episode of Black Beat PDX, the podcast where we dive into the vibrant stories of Black culture, innovation, community, and business in Portland, Oregon. Today we have the incredible honor of speaking with a true powerhouse in the music world, Tyrone Hendrix. And he's not just a world-class musician and producer, he's also a venue owner and entrepreneur who has been a significant force in shaping Portland's music scene. Originally from Oakland, California, Tyrone made Portland his home in 2004. And since then, he's become a beloved ambassador for music in this city. He's played with icons like Stevie Wonder and the late Prince. He also appeared on shows like Jimmy Fallon and the Arsenio Hall Show. And he collaborated with a host of talented artists, including Liv Warfield and the Portland Cello Project. In 2016, Tyrone released his first full-length album, Rhythm on Life Volume 1, followed by Rhythm on Life Volume 2 in 2019, which earned him the prestigious Soul Tracks Reader's Choice Award for New Artist of the Year. But his impact doesn't stop there. During the challenging times of the COVID-19 pandemic, Tyrone brought community together with his innovative front porch concerts, showcasing local musicians and uplifting spirits when it was needed most. Tyrone's entrepreneurial spirit led him to co-found Uplifting Entertainment Productions and become part owner of the Alberta Street Pub, making it one of the few Black-owned music venues in the state. His dedication to music, his community, and his family is truly inspiring. Join us as we explore Tyrone Hendrix's journey, his contributions to Portland's music scene, and his vision for the future. Get ready for an engaging and enlightening conversation with a true musical legend. Let's give a warm welcome to Tyrone Hendrix. All right, sir, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good, man. I'm excited to have you on here. I know we were just talking briefly about the Alberta Pub. I myself grew up on there. So getting you in here to talk a little bit about that, I'm excited to get some of this information out to our viewers. So, Tyrone, if you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll get into some pretty good questions here.
Well, Tyrone Hendrix, like you said, introduction, moved here in 2004 from Oakland, California. Professional drummer, lover of just music, all kinds of music, and man, I can't even, it's described as kind of the opportunities that have opened themselves just based off of me, playing music, what I'm saying, and, the people I've been able to rub shoulders with and all that, including you guys,
Yeah.
I count it all joy, man, just to be able to wake up every day and something new's, just happening, So.
Absolutely. And so, when what brought you here from Oakland?
Just needed a change. I had a lot of family down here on my mother's side, and so I'm like, look, I'm right down the street.
Mm-hmm.
If it don't work out, just pack up and go right down. Head on down the I-5 right back to the bay. But this turned out to be the best move of my life.
Yeah. Now, that's pretty cool because there's always been like this connection between the Bay and Portland when it comes to music, especially like on the hip hop side. Mm-hmm. We got like another Portland legend, Cool Nuts, and he does some work with like E40, and then just Bay Area music in general has always had some kind of influence here in Portland, especially when I was growing up here. So.
Yeah, I knew the Lifesavers when I was in the Bay, and so
okay.
up here, Versatile, Jumbo, I knew them from the Bay Area, so so it's kind of dope getting up here and rubbing shoulders with them guys again. So
yeah, I remember them. You've been here 20 years, but I can still hear that Oakland in there in your voice. You know what I'm saying? So
you don't go, you don't leave.
Absolutely not. So how was the music scene in Portland different for you from what you experienced back in Oakland?
So in Oakland, I was primarily a gospel drummer. The Portland scene opened me up as far as like R&B, blues, jazz, and all that. Like I said, primarily just a gospel drummer in the Bay till I got up here and kind of started playing more in clubs and different venues and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. So yeah, but it's very, very unique scene here compared to like bigger cities because it's not too many of us here. Mm-hmm. So we end up playing for like 4 or 5 different artists, and the community's real close. It's not cliquish as in some other areas. Yeah. Everybody's pretty laid back and cool.
Yeah, people always kind of feel like it's harder to blow up out of here, like on a national scene from coming out of Portland. Like I've seen a lot of people kind of rise to like the local celebrity status, but not too many make it on a like a national or international platform. So that vibe is definitely there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you've you've worked with people like Stevie Wonder and Prince. Can you share some memorable experiences playing with those guys or people like that?
Well, definitely, Stevie, being, the legend that he is, man, the man has an aura that I've never experienced before with anybody that I've ever met. He comes in the room and it just shuts down. You know what I'm saying? Like he just becomes speechless because he's there. But man, he's very cool. Big ups to Mike Phillips. He's the one that made that happen. Had been playing with Stevie for a number of years, and he recommended my name to his MD.
Okay.
Back in 2011, and they gave me the call, and I was able to share the stage with him on a couple occasions.
Wow.
Yeah, that was
that must have been a crazy experience, man. That's a legend for sure. So when you let's kind of jump in a little bit more into some of your work here. And so your first album, I don't know if this was your first album, but your album Rhythm on Life Volume 1 and Volume 2, what was like the inspiration behind that? What was the creative process behind that?
So I've been told that I'm not just a drummer, I'm a producer when I'm playing. And so, a couple of friends of mine, Tony Ozier, Stephen Swatkins, Farmel Newton, they were like, look, man, you need to really like work on your record, man. It's like, 'cause they're like, dude, you're producing back there. You know what I'm saying? And I've been in the studio with these guys, and they're like, man, you're a big part of this track. And so, I came strictly out of church, so I have no musical like theory background as far as like reading and writing it. It's all ear, all feel.
Just raw talent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I hear it, I give it to musicians, and I, mouth it to them, and
somebody put it together.
Yeah. From there we collab and make it happen.
Tired of high gas prices? Save money on your transportation costs with TriMet's reduced fare transit card. If you meet income requirements, you can get your first month free while you enjoy unlimited rides on buses and trains anywhere TriMet goes. That's 1 month free, a $28 value when you sign up today for TriMet's reduced fare card. We'll help you travel smarter and make your money go further no matter what the price is at the pump. Visit TriMet.org/save to learn more and apply today. That's TriMet.org/save. TriMet. How life moves.
And what did you feel like there was kind of a conflict for you, kind of trying to make that transition in terms of music in the church to coming more into the industry? Because sometimes there's always that conversation, you know what I'm saying? So.
Definitely heard the rumors. You can't serve two masters and all this. But I had some mothers in the church that fought for me. It's like, no, he could be doing way worse.
Yeah,
he's doing music.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And my music is uplifting music. You know what I'm saying? I'm not to all the other nonsense. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't about uplifting, you know what I'm saying, or has some kind of message that's going to help. That's going to help the community. I really don't want no parts of it.
No, absolutely. I didn't. I've never heard anything crazy in there. It's definitely uplifting. And so when you received the Soul Tracks Reader's Choice Award for New Artist of the Year in 2019, how did that make you feel? Did you expect that, or?
Man, I did not expect it. I tell people all the time that's my personal Grammy.
Okay.
Me and the wife was walking down the Pioneer Square, and my phone was just buzzing, like, what's going on? They're like, dude, you just won this award. I'm like, what award? You? Like, I totally kind of like forgot about it. Like, they told me I was in it, and I put a couple messages out there saying, vote for me, vote for me, vote for me. But I didn't think nothing of it. But end up winning, and it's been huge. Like, Soul Tracks is a very big platform. And it's allowed me to collab with some other artists around the world, not just the country, the world.
Yeah, I imagine there probably came some notoriety with that, you know what I mean? So we'll create some exposure. So does that give me an opportunity to kind of start working with some new people?
Oh, absolutely. Especially when, because right around that time, literally like 4 months later, we were in COVID.
Oh, yeah.
So independent artists,
2019.
We got to work, and we were just sending files, and a lot of work came out of COVID. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
that industry was one of the hardest hit. So like, what did you face as a musician during the COVID-19 pandemic?
So when that hit, the first 4 months, I'm just sitting around like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Just like another, pretty much all musicians. But live streaming was already going.
Yeah.
And I felt it helped elevate everybody as far as the game, as far as podcasts and live streaming, and just kind of made you go in a room and woodshed on things that if you weren't comfortable with it, you got comfortable with it because you had time now to really like try to home in on that skill.
Yeah. Now that was, and then the thing is, you know, it wasn't just musicians that came out of that, like that whole live streaming thing. I think there was like a new generation birthed out of that, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So now you see it all over the place. And then, I mean, one of my favorites was, you know, the one with like Switz Beats and I forgot who he collaborated with on that, but the Versus Battle.
Yeah, the Versus Battle,
Yeah. You see, like, we used to tune into those all the time, man. And people actually had, I guess, the attention span for it now because they couldn't do nothing, you know?
And even like with the DJs just going on like you know, they just go in the living room and DJ for hours. Like it was, yeah. It was even the point where some of us drummers, we just went in the park and set up like 4 drum kits. You know, of course you had the 6 feet distancing, whatever.
Yeah.
We would just go play and people would just come out their house because they were hearing, you know, live music. Like live music was a big source during that time. It made people feel normal.
Absolutely.
You know? So
was that part of the front porch concerts, or was that different?
Yeah, so what happened is me and my wife had just moved, and we had been there about a year where we're at. So we did like one front porch concert, and that went really well. So then we're like, well, look, everybody's been in the house. Let's see what happens. You know, we had no expectations at all. So we were able to shut down the street for 4 or 5 hours. Talk to the neighbors; they were good with it. We went and flyered the neighborhood. And man, we put one on. It was like 300-400 people because we live right across from McKenna Park. Yeah. And so everybody distanced themselves. People was in the park, the kids playing. And yeah, they found a little distance, a little corner, and it just kind of took off from there, skyrocketed. So.
Man, I remember that time, and people always kind of try to figure out a way to survive and do what they got. You know what I mean? So I kind of liked it. You know, it felt like it was I know, you know, it was a serious topic. You know, people got sick, a lot of people passed away, but there was also some good stuff that came out of it, man. You know what I mean? It kind of felt like a little bit of a reset, you know, in some areas.
Reset,
so get us opportunity to be in tune with some things that we normally take granted for, you know what I mean? So so from your time coming here in 2004 to now, have you noticed significant changes in the Portland music scene? Or is it kind
of... definitely changes. I mean, I'm kind of in the middle range now. You know, you have the elder statesmen that have, you know, they're still doing their thing. But now I found myself in a position of where we have the youngins underneath us coming in and you know, just making sure that we teach them and keep the music going the same way, you know.
Yeah, you jumped right into the next question. So who are some local artists that you're working with, whether it's new or you know, some familiar names?
Tahara Memory, I've worked on her records, Arietta Ward, Tony Ozier, Farnell Newton, Portland Cello Project, like you mentioned.
Yep.
Man, Andy Stokes, me and him been working with him lately. Rhonda Steele, you name it. Quick and Easy Boys. I've worked with Tony Furtado, like the Lifesavers. So I've kind of, I'm not a one-trick pony. I work with everything.
Yeah, you're not restricted to a specific genre, man. So
you'll be broke. You do that.
No, I mean, you got to diversify it, right?
Yep.
So as far as like for the future in regards to Portland music, do you kind of like, where do you see the evolution going? Do you see us getting a little bit more mainstream recognition, or do you kind of still get that local vibe to it?
Definitely getting mainstream recognition because some of the artists that I've been able, you know, that I've rubbed shoulders with, the musicians nationally, you know, Portland was always kind of overlooked. It's like you go to Frisco, then you skip Portland, go to Seattle. I feel that's starting to change now. They're like, yo, there's a very vibrant scene here. They come here and people love them.
Yeah.
You know, my good friend John Jabu Smith, legendary, you know, played with the Tony, Whitney Houston, Freddie Beverly the Mays. He had his own project out with Legally Blonde. I bring him here all the time. His brother Pick Funk, and they're just like, dude, the scene here is crazy. You know, they told me, he said, dude, you don't need to come back to the Bay Area. Stay here.
We got a lot of talented artists, but I always felt like we were always trying to figure out our sound. I mean, you know, my genre growing up has always kind of been hip hop, so I might be a little bit ignorant to some of the other music genres out here. But in terms of like on the hip hop side, it always felt like we were trying to figure out our sound. And sometimes it would have like an LA sound to it. Then there was like the Oakland sound to it, you know what I mean? So we just did a little bit of Midwest here and there, but we never I never felt like we really had like our own sound, you know what I mean?
Well, I'm kind of like West Coast is West Coast. Portland's West Coast, so I mean, you know.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay. Well, so let's get a little bit into some more of your business ventures here. This is kind of my favorite part, and this is what we like to get to our audience out there. Having a black business owner, especially somebody like yours, who is right here in the heart of Northeast Portland. So let's get into Uplifting Entertainment Productions and your partnership with Eric Turner. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Oh, well, Eric, his brother that he goes to my church, Trinity Pentecostal Church,
Okay.
Under Bishop Turner.
Mm-hmm.
We met in 2017, and he was, always cooking at the events. I'm like, man, this food is killing.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we got to my house, where I do the front porch courses at, I was like, you know what? We could put him over here in the driveway,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll be over here doing
Playing
music.
Yeah.
Kind of give that down south backyard family reunion type feel. That's
Mm-hmm.
really what we're looking for. And man, he's like, man, I'm retired, but he said, man, for you, I'll come out and do it. And
Mm-hmm.
it's funny because every time he'll hit me up, be like, man, I can't believe you just brought me out of retirement like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm fully all the way in now.
So is that what inspired it?
Yeah, that's kind of what inspired it. Yeah.
So you gave him like an uplifting vibe for that, and
Yeah, and he actually came up with the name. He said,
Okay.
"Man, you ever think about uplifting?" I'm like, you know what? This is what we doing.
yeah. Well, I was gonna ask what inspired that name.
Yeah.
'Cause that is the type of music that you do. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's pretty much what inspired it. Just that, like I said, the joy on people's faces, people dancing, like I said, kids playing like that.
Mhm.
It's all community at the end of the day.
okay, and so what are some kind of goals that you guys have planned for Uplifting Entertainment Productions?
I mean, the goal is, so when we did the first front porch concert,
Mm-hmm.
because of McKenna Park, we were gonna reach out to McKenna and be like, can we use it to, make it into maybe a 1 or 2 day festival or something like that.
Okay.
That's kind of, I think, was an end goal. But like I said, COVID hit and it ended up this being the front porch concert. And we've kind of kept it at that because, people are like, no, we don't want to move to the park. We like you have your stage.
So you already had those plans for what you wanted to do at McKenna Park before COVID?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So then you had to just transform
Mm-hmm.
to what that was going to look like. Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Tired of high gas prices? Save money on your transportation costs with TriMet's reduced fare transit card. If you meet income requirements, you can get your first month free while you enjoy unlimited rides on buses and trains anywhere TriMet goes. That's 1 month free, a $28 value when you sign up today for TriMet's reduced fare card. We'll help you travel smarter and make your money go further no matter what the price is at the pump. Visit TriMet.org/save to learn more and apply today. That's TriMet.org/save. TriMet. How life moves.
Yeah. So then the other part is, this is kind of my favorite part. Again, this is my neck of the woods. I grew up here riding my bike all the time and going to my barber shops and all that. So you are co-owner there at the Alberta Street Pub.
Yes.
That's on 11th in Alberta.
1036 Northeast Alberta.
Yep, 1036 Northeast Alberta. So tell us a little bit about how you became involved with that and what's your plans for that. I love the venue. Especially not the porch, but the music side and what you guys do on Sundays. So tell me how you got involved with that and what's your vision with that, and can we expect you to continue to be a part of that for a long time?
I'm definitely going to be there for a while.
Okay.
So basically how that happened is it's kind of a spin-off of the front porch concerts.
Mm-hmm.
The owner at the time, Ezra Holbrook, fellow drummer and musician I've known for years.
Mm-hmm.
I had performed at the pub a couple times
Mm-hmm.
right before COVID, and he called me up and said, well, look, we have this patio,
Mm-hmm.
which I never knew it was a patio back there. I just had always just been in the venue part. I go in the back, I'm like, oh, okay, we can fit about 50, 75 people here and still be nice social distancing. But he hit me and was like, man, do you want to come in and do something? We're trying to figure out how to keep the venue open.
Mm-hmm.
And so I came in, did a couple shows, and then other musicians, because at that time a lot of cats weren't really working, they were like, well, is this cool to do this here?
Yeah.
I said, absolutely. They reached out to Ash and he started booking them and essentially kind of saved the place from closing.
Yeah.
Because of the patio league. So it was live music, probably 2 shows a day,
Mm-hmm.
7 days a week on that patio.
Man. Yeah, I remember coming in there at that time because I'm part of the Eritrean Community Center. It's right there on that corner.
Yep.
And a lot of times we'll gather there for like funerals and things like that. And then right after, we'd always walk over there. And I started noticing that, we started picking up a lot more, and there was a lot more musical performances there. And that's kind of started leading me to go there a little bit more, man. But yeah, I'm super excited about that now. You know, I hope you continue to be a part of that for a long time, because we definitely need more black-owned venues. You know, because there was a time where in Northeast Portland you could go to a lot of places that were black-owned, like Soleil's. And I think the other one was like the 1222, and then a little bit way further back before that was like the Cotton Club and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And they started disappearing, you know.
And the venue, Anniversary Pub, was called Love Train back in the day, and it wasn't like home.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So kind of when they started breaking down the history, you know, between the 90s and 2000s, it was a black-owned called the Love Train, and I think the thing that's been really dope about it is that now that the folks know us, you know, I'm in there. You just hear stories of people like my auntie, my uncle, my grandma, and they came in when it was a Love Train.
Yeah.
So now you have all these kids that's grown now.
Yeah.
And they're coming in, but now the aunties and them are starting to come back. They're like, oh, I used to come here back in the day. They just come in and just marvel, look around like, I remember this, I remember that, I remember that. That is so dope.
They're still calling it the Love Train, huh?
Oh, yeah. Oh, we got the sign up there. And the goal is to change the name back to the Love Train.
Oh, really?
Eventually.
Wow, okay.
Yeah,
that's going to be dope. Yeah, like I said, you know, when I was a kid, I used to run around there. You'd see those bars and stuff, but you didn't pay them too much mind. Yeah. You know, you'd see like some of your older aunties and stuff going in and out of there. But, you know, you can get in there, and two, you just didn't pay too much attention. But then, you know, when I came, I had left Portland for a little bit. When I came back, and a lot of that stuff was gone, man. It was a little bit more like retail-y spaces and stuff like that, and kind of took away that. So it's good to kind of see a lot of that vibrancy come back, man. We definitely need it.
Yeah, because when I got here in 2004, that's when I started seeing the shift on Alberta. Definitely, yeah, 2004. Like,
I left 2004.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, what have been kind of some of the biggest challenges for you in running a place like that? I imagine you never really ran a venue or a bar like that before. So
no, never run a venue bar, but I've been to thousands, you know, around the country and stuff like that. I embrace challenges. So I mean, the main thing is, you know, dealing with the city and stuff like that. You know, they see, you know, some black folk get together and all of a sudden these radars go up. So just dealing with that. But it's cool that I have friends and places that kind of let me know what's happening, and they definitely tell me, like, you know, just, you know, watch how things go, and I'm, you know, so.
That's where you've been?
Yeah.
Good, yeah. And so how, with you, like trying to balance what you got going on the music career side, you know, your entertainment production side, and then now you got this managing the venue side, how has that been?
It's been, you know, it's been cool, but like I said, once again, I embrace the challenge. But you know, you still gotta balance this side, this side, this side, this side. You know what I'm saying? So it's just mainly just, you know, gotta have, you know, like, thank God for my wife, she keeps me in check. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm veering this way, she'll straighten me up, get me right back on this path here, you know. And even some of my good friends will do that too. So, you know, I really appreciate it.
Are there days you're in there particularly? Are you ever in there performing, or are you just?
Yeah, no, I do a lot of PDX Soul shows, which is my brand, here all the time. So that's kind of, the bar's kind of known like PDX Soul. I say Soulful Sundays. This is, you know, PDX Soul night there, which I started a couple years ago, which I think kind of got the neighborhood really, you know, like, okay, this is happening. We love this. Boom, and it spawned off in the other nights at the pub also. Like now we have a Wednesday night social, cigar social, with PDX Smoke in collab with Burger Street Pub.
You got, and then you have that bingo night there.
Yeah, Trap Bingo. My man Sam. So
yeah, I'm excited to say. And the cool thing about you guys is it's an opportunity to kind of bridge some generational gaps. You know what I'm saying? Because for a long time it's like you either fit in with this crowd, age, this and stuff like that. But the way you guys mix it up is really good, man. You see a lot of all different age groups in there, you know what I mean? So, and it brings back a lot of old Portland in there, man. I run into a lot of old friends in there that I haven't seen in a while, man. So I'm super excited about always kind of going in there, you know what I mean? So what business advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs who want to start their business in the music industry, especially coming out of Portland, you know, because it's not like LA where you're going to run into a million producers and your friend knows this guy and that. So for somebody looking to jump in the music industry, especially in Portland here, you know, what's some advice you'd give them?
Main advice, first off, make sure that you love it. And I say that because, you know, like you just said, you run to a million different people, but the million different people don't have your best interests. So it's like, you know, you really got to love it, because you're going to run into, you know, some cats that are, you know, they're not really good people. They're in it for themselves. They don't have your best interest at heart, but want to use your gift to gain on their behalf. So you really got to vet that out. And it takes some not mistakes, it takes some failure, a lot more failure than success to stay in this game, you know, and I can speak for that easily, you know. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, again, I'm not a musician, but with all this access now that we have to a lot of this digital streaming opportunities, you know, you can build a career off your iPhone, you know what I mean?
Yes, you can.
So, you know, my thing is I see a lot of people getting recognition across the world, you know what I mean? So there's that piece of it as well. So for you, what motivates you to keep playing music, right? What is in terms of like a long-term vision for you?
Well, I mean, like I said, main thing is the love, because I feel music kept me from doing a lot of crazy things that I would have done going up and open, especially out there, you know. So, you know, thank God for my church, First Morning Star Missionary Baptist Church, where I grew up at. They let me just go and play, you know, and that, like I said, that just kept me out of trouble. So I look at music, you know, as something that essentially saved my life. Did I ever know I would be able to make a living at doing it? Didn't think so, but I have, you know, and that's spawned into me owning a venue now. So, you know, these are things I just didn't see coming, but you know, hey, I'm just living the dream, man.
Well, man, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, as a native Portlander, I'm excited that, you know, your journey led to here, and we have somebody like you, especially within our community here. So before we wrap it up, man, if you want to give out any promo, or, you know, where we can find your music, or if you got anything coming up that you want to let the people know about, this is your opportunity.
Well, definitely you can find my music on my website, www.tyronehendrix.com. You'll find my records and where I'm touring at. I'm currently on tour with Alan Stone. I actually this Monday, and I'll be going for a couple months.
Wow.
I headline the Cathedral Jazz Fest this Saturday at 8:30 p.m.
Okay.
And like I said, you go to the Birch Street Pub and still find just constant shows there. Like I said, we're striving to be the best music venue in the city, but also a place where, you know, you can come bring your family out, come on the patio, you know, the kids play games, or you drink some cocktails, talk to the lady, the wife, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, just have an all-around good time, you know? So that's what it's all about for me.
Well, Tyrone, man, I'm super excited that we had a chance to get you on the show and get some of your information out. And I'm here trying to also, I don't work for Alberta the Street Pub, but I'm a big, supporter of that pub. So you guys make sure you go out there and check it out, especially for Soulful Sundays. That's usually when I like to go over there. But thank you, Tyrone, for being here today. And you guys go check out his work.
All right, appreciate you. Thank you.